Rev up your engines! Today I'm going to talk about whether you should get rid of a car that you have or whether you should continue owning it and taking care of it. And I've got a perfect example here. My customer here, she owns a 10-year-old Infiniti. She's asking me, should I keep this car or should I get something else? Is it going to give me a lot of problems? I can still drive it a few years. Now, if you've been watching me any length of time, you'll know I'll say, don't go buy a used Infiniti G37 or any high-end Infiniti because they can become money pits as they age. But here, I'm going to give an honest evaluation of the car to my customer. Okay, we climb inside and we see it's got 92,302 miles on it. And it's got all the bells and whistles. And she said they all work perfectly fine. She's never had any problems with them. And yeah, the leather trim's cracking in places. And the other trim is fading away. Coating on the plastic is wearing off. But if we go into the back, it's immaculate. No problems there because, hey, she drives the car by herself. Nobody else is using it. We got to the passenger side. Hey, that's immaculate too. That's not faded away. That's not cracked. She just drives the car by herself. And we check in the trunk, pop it open. Everything's clean. The seal's clean. She told me it's never been wrecked, and it certainly looks like it never has been. And when we pull the hood release and check under the hood, it's got the ultra reliable V6 engine in it. It doesn't burn any oil or lose any coolant. And being the original owner, she hasn't had any major problems. The biggest thing she did was have the front struts changed because it was bouncing too much. So it's got a history of being a pretty good car. It's never been wrecked, but you never know. So I'm getting my fancy scan tool and we'll hook it up. Just plugs in under the dash and it goes. Problems can't hide from these machines. We just press Diagnostics, then Infiniti, and away we go. Smart machine, it knows what it's doing. It's already read the whole thing, and now we scan it. Auto scan, and now it's scanning. Now it's found two problems, one with the body control module and three with the sonar system. So we'll start with the body control module. And it's got a code of U1000, which is relatively common with an older car. This is a lost communication code of the main computer to any of the modules. Often, they'll lose communication once in a while with one or the other. Runs fine, she hasn't had any problems with it. I see this all the time. If I had a customer who was buying this vehicle and it didn't work right and it had that code, I'd say walk away, because that lost communication can be a serious problem. But when they run perfectly fine, I see it all the time in cars. Now it also has codes for the sonar system, so we'll see what that is. It's lost communication with three of the sonar sensors. Interestingly enough, each one of the three was seen exactly 39 times. It records how many times it happened. So all these codes are related. I'm assuming that the main computer has the U1000 code of loss of communication because it's lost communication with some of these stupid sonar systems for backing up and for warning you're getting too close. That's typical as these things age. Hey, as long as you use your eyes and ears and drive normally, none of these systems are going to save you anyway. And as they age, they can cost a fortune to fix. And most people like this lady just ignore them. I'm going to check all the live data. That gives me so much information. I'll know what kind of shape this vehicle is in overall within a few minutes. And as you can see, man, there is a lot of data. I analyze it as I scroll through it. This particular system is color coded. So if they're bad, they'll be either yellow or red, or they'll be highlighted instead of just being a normal color. For example, the map sensor data. That's pretty spot on for this vehicle. I can even test it by putting it in drive. And now I'm going to turn off the AC. That should make the map sensor drop. Watch. Turned it off, and it dropped just like it's supposed to. See, the injector pulse is good. The mass airflow sensor is good. There's so much information that I can go through that shows me what kind of shape the engine is in, the transmission is in. It's wild. Alternator's working. There it is, 13.76 volts. Without even having to go under the hood of the car. So basically the machine tells me that the vehicle is in excellent shape. The transmission has no problems. The engine has no problems. The electronic system, other than that stupid lost communication, which is probably the sonar system, that's in tip-top shape. Now I did notice when I was walking, I could smell a little smoldering. And when I come here, I can smell a tiny bit of smoldering. This is a V6 engine, 90-something thousand miles. The valve cover gaskets are seeping a tiny amount of oil, which then smolders. It's no big deal. I've seen cars go years this way with no real problems at all. It's not even dripping on the ground. Now, if it's dripping on the ground making a mess, yeah, it's time to change them out. But as these things age, a lot of them let just a little bit of oil come out of it. Doesn't really mean anything. I checked the tires and they're wearing evenly. They don't have any scallops, either the front ones or the back ones. And of course now I'm going to take it for a road test on the highway to see it handles at high speeds. But I drove it around here, just around the block, and man, this thing is fast. I can see why people buy them. They're extremely fast vehicles. The owner may be a little old lady, but she's more like the little old lady from Pasadena who wants to put her foot to pedal to the metal every once in a while. And we'll step on the gas. Goes like stink. And it also handles like a dream too. This car's in excellent shape. So all in all, considering that it's just like a dream, runs like a dream, doesn't burn oil, doesn't use any coolant, has no serious trouble codes, the data's all good, I'm gonna tell my customer, keep the car. It might go years more. And in this particular case, even though I say don't buy these used Infinitis, if a customer had brought me this car and said, should I buy this car or not? And after I checked it out, I'd say, if you don't pay too much money for it, it could be a good car. But of course, she already owns the car. It's been paid for years ago. So what the heck? She might get another 4 or 5 years of reasonably trouble-free driving with this thing. As the saying goes, better the devil you know than the one you don't. So if you never want to miss another one of my new car repair videos, remember to ring that bell.